Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Evening.
Thank you. Okay, here we go. So welcome to the 21st of December council meeting. The last meeting in December and the last meeting for me, but we are not going to cry yet. We're good. We're good.
Yep.
I have made a couple changes on the agenda just so we could get through the business portion of the meeting and have some fun at the end. So we'll call the meeting to order, and we're going to start by a pledge of allegiance and a moment of silence. If you would pause for the moment of silence and pray for our first responders, doctors, nurses, for our men and women of the military, and for anyone who is unable to be with their family during the holidays, I would appreciate it. Thank you. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Miss Jackie, can you call the roll, please?
Yes, Mayor. Mayor Velardo,
Here.
Vice Mayor Evans, Ms. Russell. Here. Mr. Mitchell.
Here.
Mr. Redmond.
Here.
Ms. Chamberlain.
Here.
Mr. Haskins.
Here.
Is there a motion to excuse Vice Mayor Evans?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Mitchell.
Yes.
Ms. Russell.
Yes.
Ms. Velardo.
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain.
Yes.
Mr. Haskins.
Yes.
Mr. Redmond.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, has everyone had a chance to review the proceedings from the December 7th meeting, and is there a motion to accept or approve?
Motion to approve. Second.
Mr. Haskins.
Yes.
Mr. Redmond.
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell.
Abstain.
Ms. Velardo.
Yes.
Ms. Evans. Oops. Ms. Russell.
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain.
Yes.
Thank you. Before you are two financial statements. The first one is the October 2021 finance report. I'm looking for a motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt. Second.
Mr. Redmond.
Yes.
Mr. Haskins.
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain.
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell.
Yes.
Ms. Russell.
Yes.
Ms. Velardo.
Yes. The second set of financial statements are from November finance report. Looking for a motion to receive.
Motion to receive. Second.
Ms. Russell.
Yes.
Ms. Velardo.
Yes.
Mr. Redmond.
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain.
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell.
Yes.
Mr. Haskins.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so that takes us to our first standing committee reports. On our agenda tonight is just one committee meeting, Public Services. Mrs. Chamberlain.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. We had a Public Service Committee meeting on December 20th. I called the meeting to order at 9:30 a.m. Present was myself, Ted Haskins, and Mayor Amy Velardo. We had City Manager Michael Doss, Finance Director Pat Worthland, and Administrative Assistant Jackie Bain. We did not have any visitors. The committee read and approved the October 29th, 2021 Public Service Committee minutes. The first thing on the agenda was the new fund for the water tower. Finance Director Pat Worthland discussed with the committee that in order to start work on the $3 million water tower, the first step is to set up a new fund in the accounting system. This requires a council ordinance. Ms. Worthland reviewed information and made one change to the information. This is actually a part of ARPA, a portion of the state ARPA distribution, which is technically considered a federal fund. Ms. Worthland added, excuse me, Ms. Worthland did have a change for the suggested ordinance that was provided to the committee. Ms. Worthland added that in the fourth paragraph of the proposed ordinance, which was included in the committee meeting packet, the following will be needed to be included after the word funding that was appropriated through the ARP Act. The committee agreed to recommend that the law director draft an ordinance authorizing the creation of the Ohio Builds Water Infrastructure Grant Program Fund number 515 and declaring an emergency.
Second.
The next item on the agenda were the water lines OPWC. Mr. Doss?
Excuse me.
I'm so sorry, I went right along. This is why I normally write stop. Thanks.
Jackie?
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Ms. Velardo?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Mr. Haskins?
Yes.
Thank you.
Now I'll continue. Next on the agenda were the water lines OPWC. Mr. Dutz discussed that we are waiting on the approval from the governor, and we will have then the project funded. And with ARPA, our local money that we have received, plus state funds, plus federal funds, the entire water tower project and lines will have been funded through federal and state monies. The total monies are approximately $4.2 million. The committee members congratulated Mr. Doss and Ms. Worthland's and staff's hard work on this project. Mr. Doss said that we will have more information as we move forward with this project. The water tower project will take approximately 2 more years to get the water tower fabricated and operational. Mr. Doss also discussed information with the committee regarding the EPA Superfund site. Myself and Mr. Haskins thanked Mayor Velardo for all her years of service on the Public Services Committee, 16 years that she has served on that committee. Thank you again.
Thank you.
There being no further business, the meeting was adjourned at 10 a.m. with a motion from Ms. Velardo and seconded by Mr. Haskins. And we all said yes.
Yeah, 16 years on one committee. I'm not sure that Dave Walker and Eddie Hackmeister would be as excited to know that, but we worked well together, didn't we, guys? We did good. Okay, thank you, Mr. Chamberlain. City Manager report, Mr. Doss?
Yeah, I'm actually going to gloss over bullet 1 because Kim talked about that. That was dealing with our OPWC water line project, which we've got funded, so that is a good thing. I do want to move to something that is going to be extremely fun for Ed and myself and the folks at Public Works this year coming. Duke Energy gas line replacement project. Duke Energy intends to replace the gas main lines and service lines throughout the city in 2022. Areas that will be impacted are Main Street from Mill Street to Pike Street and Lila Avenue behind Kerrigan Lane. This project is anticipated to last 4 to 5 months, with individual blocks being shut down in the downtown area at a time. Duke will mill and asphalt overlay the impacted areas. We were very concerned because we just paved those roads just a little over a year ago. There will also be accommodations for Frontier Days and Sparks in the Park. Duke will also host a neighborhood meeting in early 2022 to discuss the project with our residents and our local businesses. We're going to try to work with them and try to make it as less convenient as possible. Standing committees, there are no standing committees at this time. Reminders, December the 23rd, City Hall offices will be closing at 12:30. December 24th, the City Hall offices will be closed. December 31st, the City Hall offices will be closed, and again, an observation of the holidays. And our next regularly scheduled City Council meeting will be January 4 at 7 p.m.
Thank you, Mr. Doss. Police Department. Good evening, Chief.
Good evening, Council, Mayor. I don't have a formal report, but I did want to publicly thank all of you who volunteered at our Shop with a Hero a couple of weeks ago on Thursday. It was a very successful event and the most heartwarming outreach we do of the year. So wouldn't be possible without a ton of volunteers, whether it's City Council, police employees, fire employees, Citizens Police Academy, alumni, just active citizens. So we're very blessed, and it was a great event.
It is a great event. It's always so fun to see those kids so excited to be wrapping presents. Very heartwarming. Thank you, Chief. Fire and EMS. Chief Nickel.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Nothing really to report. Friday, we were grateful to host a city luncheon at the firehouse. It was great, attended by all. Nice, gathering of people and nice family time, as I call it. Friday night, we packed 1,500 treat bags at the firehouse, and I know there were several people there from here. And Sunday, we handed them out. So we started at 1, we were done by 5, and it was just a great time. A lot of good pictures and a lot of happy kids. So
Santa Sunday is always a hit. I think everybody looks forward to that. It's so great to see the kids planning their days around Santa Sunday coming there. Great work, guys.
thank you.
Thanks.
Tradition.
It is a great tradition. Okay, well, we are cranking through this agenda. Making this quick. So I don't know if there's any new business that we need to discuss. If there's not, that will take us to our first ordinance and resolution. Mr. Manier.
Thank you, Mayor. Joe Cooper has requested I read ordinance slower and enunciate clearly, but I will,
And maybe into the mic.
but I will not be doing that tonight, Joe. Ordinance number 2021-118, an ordinance authorizing the creation of the Ohio Builds Water Infrastructure Grant Program Fund number 515 and declaring an emergency, whereas the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, a $1.9 trillion economic COVID-19 stimulus package was signed into law by the President of the United States on March 11, 2021, and whereas the ARP will provide additional relief to address the continuing impact of COVID-19 on the economy, public health, state and local governments, individuals, and businesses, and whereas part of the ARP $350 billion in additional funding is being provided to state and local governments, and whereas the Ohio General Assembly funded the Ohio Builds Water Infrastructure Grant Program in House Bill 168 with $250 million funding that was appropriated through the ARP Act as a statewide initiative to reduce or eliminate the local financial burden associated with critical infrastructure needs, such as the construction of new water systems, replacement of aging water lines, and installation of new water mains, whereas the Ohio General Assembly funded the Ohio Builds Water Infrastructure Grant Program in House Bill 168 with $250 million funding as a statewide initiative to help build a stronger foundation for improved quality of life for Ohio's families and continuing economic growth for Ohio communities, whereas pursuant to guidance issued by the Auditor of State in a bulletin dated April 7, 2021, the Federal Funding Accountability and Transparency Act requires separate accounting for direct recipients of federal awards greater than $25,000, and whereas Ohio Revised Code 5705.09 further authorizes subdivision to establish separate funds for each class of revenue derived from a source other than the general property tax, and whereas Ohio Revised Code 5705.12 further requires the taxing authority of subdivision to establish, with approval of the Auditor of State, a separate fund for money derived from specified sources other than general property tax. And whereas the Auditor of State approves taxing authorities to establish the separate funds required for separate accountability of federal programs upon adoption of a local ordinance or resolution, further local governments do not need to seek Auditor of State approval for establishing COVID-19 federal programs. And whereas Council finds the recommendation of the administration to establish Ohio Builds Water Infrastructure Grant Program Fund number 515 to be in the best interest of the health, safety, and welfare of all the residents and businesses in the city of Milford, now therefore be ordained by the Council of the Municipality of Milford. Section 1, that the Finance Director is hereby authorized to establish Ohio Builds Water Infrastructure Grant Program Fund number 515 to separately account for any funds received through the Ohio Builds Water Infrastructure Grant of 2021 so as to be in compliance with the FFATA. Section 2, this ordinance is hereby declared to be an emergency measure necessary with the preservation of public peace, health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of the city of Milford. The immediate emergency being a necessity to authorize the creation of Ohio Builds Water Infrastructure Grant Program Fund number 515, separately account for any funds coming to the city through Ohio Builds Water Infrastructure Grant Program Fund 2021. Therefore, this ordinance should be in full force and effect immediately upon its passage by this council and approval by the mayor.
Motion to suspend the rules and read by title only.
Second.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Mr. Haskins?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Ms. Velardo?
Yes.
Ordinance number 2021-118, an ordinance authorizing the creation of Ohio Builds Water Infrastructure Grant Program Fund number 515 and declaring an emergency.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Ms. Velardo?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Mr. Haskins?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
If I may interject on the agenda, I'm going to take this over a little bit. I believe there's an item, hopefully we won't get in trouble, on the agenda. And Ms. Russell, if you don't mind, Mayor, can you step down and go to the podium, and Ms. Russell join you, please?
Yeah, sure.
Here you go.
Never mind, I have a box.
Well, on behalf of Vice Mayor Lisa Evans, who was supposed to be here tonight and to read this, I'm stepping in for her tonight. They asked me if I could do it, and I said, I think I can.
You can do it. Come on.
From the city of Milford, Ohio, whereas for all of us who live and work in Milford, there is a professional sense of pride and gratitude as we consider the contributions, accomplishments, dedication of Mayor Amy Velardo, who has given so much back to the city and to the residents of Milford. Whereas, in appreciation for Amy Velardo's years of service from 2005 to 2022 to the city of Milford. Whereas Mayor Velardo, you have been a part of many projects here in Milford and that have changed the landscape of the city, its expansions, and the way the city does business. Whereas Mayor Velardo, thank you all for your service, dedication, and hard work to lead and guide our city. We wish you well, Mayor, in whichever endeavors you decide to pursue. Therefore, it should be Lisa, but it's going to be Sandy, on behalf of my colleagues on the Milford City Council, and by the virtue of the authority vested in me as a council member, as the city of Milford, Ohio, hereby recognize and commend Mayor Amy Velardo for her years of service and dedication to the city of Milford.
Mayor, if you don't mind, can you stand right there, please? Slide over into your seat here. We're at the council comment stage of the agenda, if anyone has any comments.
Michael, can I start off? I have Lisa's words that she would like me to read to you, and it says, Amy, I'm so sorry I'm unable to be there for your special night. After serving with you for 11 years, I can't quite imagine what it will be like without you. You have shown a great love and dedication to the city of Milford that I am truly thankful for. You have been a great mentor and have served our city beyond expectations. There are so many big challenges you are a part of, most of all leading us through a pandemic. You will be missed. Sincerely, Lisa.
That was very kind, thank you.
Sure.
And I know that she wanted to be here tonight. I know she tried, but I really appreciate that.
Yep.
Thank you.
I just have my own little proclamation, of course. Amy and I have been together for quite a while here. I'm going to read this because I get emotional here and forget what I'm going to say. Many people have told me how tired they are of hearing how long I have been the city's attorney, 43 years. During that time, I have worked with in excess of 150 council people and many, many mayors. I have my own personal Hall of Fame, and I have my own personal Hall of Shame. You know who you are. Amy is definitely in my Hall of Fame. She's on my Mount Rushmore of great mayors and great council people. No one has been more dedicated to making Milford a better place than Amy, and as long as I've been here, the best thing I can say about anybody who served on council is Milford is a better place because they've been here and they've been on council, and Milford is definitely a greater place to work and live because of Amy. She's been a great mayor.
No.
Stay there.
Up next, we have Chief Jamie Mills. Chief, can you come up, please? And I ask that all of the city employees, police and fire, if everybody could just come up and stand as well. Thank you.
Mayor, on behalf of the city employees and staff, I'd like to present you with a small token of our appreciation for all of your hard work.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Can we open it now?
Yeah, please.
Okay. goodness, thank you. Oh, that's awesome. And I'm sure they're all Milford, aren't they?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
They better be.
And we also have this bouquet.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness, look how beautiful that is. It's gorgeous. Thank you.
Very pretty.
That is beautiful. I'm gonna set it right here.
And I have one more.
Oh, I love this.
Collage of 29 highlights.
Oh, my
Recognize just a
gosh.
small fraction of all the highlights of your years on council.
Heather's gonna be so happy she made the board.
She did. Bill Box in there, Ken Brew.
Oh my
A
goodness.
lot of FC.
It's so personal. I love it. Thank
Amy,
you
will
so
turn
much.
that so we
Yeah.
can-
Yeah.
So turn it that camera will get it. Steve will get honed in on that. Oh my goodness. Guys, thank you. I thank you all. I can't even talk.
Good
so-
job.
so
Great.
thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. Okay, can I sit down now?
No. We're going to open this up to any public comments, anyone from the public. Heather, from the chamber, any call on? Sorry.
Adam, if we can get you to go first here.
We have a system.
We have a system.
They wanted me to go before the fun started, so just me before the fun resumes. Good to see everybody again. Again, my name's Adam Weissman. I am part of the Judy and John Ruthven Foundation, as well as the Ruthven business that bid on the 25 Main Street building. And just wanted to kind of give a few updates, comments since the last time that I addressed you all a few months ago. So first of all, we would just like to say that we wish Mayor Velardo the absolute best, and we can't thank her enough for everything she did in helping the mural project get done, and we're so happy that she got to be a part of it. I saw that it even made the board there in the pictures throughout the year, so that's truly great, and we're really happy about that. We did have our dedication event a few weeks ago at the Little Miami Event Center that just opened up. A few of the things that came from that was a lot of people that had not been to Milford since the kind of renovation and all of the projects that have been going on. They had the best things to say about not only the event center, but just the area in general. And that was kind of one of our main goals with our RFP and with everything else, is that we want to bring our friends and clientele to Milford. So we really appreciated that. And then the other thing was, they kept asking what is going on with the building and, you know, when can they. As far as our revised proposal, when I spoke the last time, we kind of took in all your concerns and revised our proposal. We heard the concerns about the amount. So we revised our amount to the full asking price for just the building. We heard the concerns about the parking, so we wanted Milford to keep control of the parking and maximize that to the fullest. And then the third thing was, they were concerned about if you sold it to somebody and they decide to sell, what happens to Milford? So we put in a first right of refusal clause as well. So we tried to address all those concerns. And we did hear word that you want to put it back out for another RFP. We revised that so we wouldn't go out to another RFP to try to get that done. So I'd just like to say, if that does go out, I mean, I can't make promises that our offer will be the same. But again, I just wanted to kind of give you an update from where we were. And I appreciate your time again. And now we can get back to the fun stuff. But thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm actually gonna put this in front, so Steve can see it. Right, Steve?
I get to go next.
Oh,
Hey,
sit right here. All right. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ralph Villardo. I have the privilege of being married to Mayor Villardo. So, 5,833 days. That's how many days she served right here to the wonderful citizens of Milford. So we're all very honored that she's taken the time out of her life to do that. The last 913 days as the mayor. That's 16 years overall. So what has changed? We're going to talk about that tonight, about all these people. And I want to acknowledge all these people who are here, a lot of them concerned, but a lot of them to thank you. So what's changed since 2006? Well, pretty much about everything. Milford South, Milford, Maine, we're still schools. Downtown Milford has been transformed, as we've talked about, new restaurants, shops, residential living. Milford has grown to be a model that every community wants to be and that residents are proud to live in. When we look back in time and see Amy as a young girl who had a goal in life at a very early age to make Milford the best place we call home, and to have a vision to be that mayor someday. Not most of us get to live out that dream. She has done that. I have had the pleasure firsthand of seeing incredible passion she has for this community, and we are all better because she has provided the leadership to being on this positive path we have been on. Olivia, her oldest daughter, who unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, but I believe is watching somewhere in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean via Facebook, reminded me of her early memories of watching her mom first be part of what is now the City Gym, and that is the organization of the Valley View Foundation. As most of you know, that beautiful property was going to be an oversized and poorly planned residential community. She was part of making sure that didn't happen, and we all benefit from that today. Then, being first elected and taking office in 2006, and as you can see, as I mentioned earlier, all the friends, family members, and business associates here tonight, Amy, you've meant so much to so many people. I thank them all for being here on behalf of our family. And on a personal note, and as the former mayor of this great town, I understand the importance of being mayor. And though I think I did a pretty good job, Amy truly has been one of the best, the most dedicated, professional, and charismatic mayor this town has ever seen. Madam Mayor Villardo, if you allow me, I just want to let everyone know how lucky I am to have been a part of that journey these last number of years, and I love you. Our children, Olivia, Marissa, Max, and Ava, have seen what it means to pay it forward, and you have certainly accomplished that and then some. Thank you, honey. And I would also be remiss if I didn't acknowledge in the crowd today that your newest member, Janet Cooper, is here tonight. So I want to acknowledge on behalf of the Villardo family that we wish her the very best. And the one thing I'm most proud of, and I do it quite often, and I get to tell people that yes, my wife Amy is the mayor of Milford.
Make no doubt, everybody in this room knows who the real mayor of Milford is, don't we, Johnny?
Well, now I believe it's my turn, and we know I've never shied away from a microphone or a camera. I love Facebook.
We used to have an egg timer.
We might need that. I am Heather Frye with the Clermont County Chamber of Commerce, and I'm joined by my fellow ambassadors here who took time out of their evening to make sure we were here to thank you for your years of service and dedication to the city of Milford. I know when Michael Doss, we were touring TQL the other day, he's like, Heather, you do know you're supposed to be there. I'm like, we have it, we have this. Our president, Joy Lytle, couldn't be here tonight. On behalf of her, she said to give you a big hug. This is from Joy. But also on behalf of the Clermont County Chamber of Commerce and our entire community, we thank you so much for your years of service and dedication to growing Milford and making it a great place to locate, operate, and grow a thriving business. Now, Amy Velardo is also a member of our ambassador committee. So what does that mean? She is dedicated to making sure the whole county of Clermont is represented. She knows that if New Richmond wins, the city of Milford wins. If Bethel wins, the city of Milford wins. People are going to travel to the city of Milford just to visit, to celebrate, to definitely go to Little Miami Brewery and some other events. But you have always been a champion for the whole county of Clermont. And not only are you the mayor of Milford currently right now, but you're also a friend. And I told them they might have to read this because I may cry. You'll never see emotion from me again. This is the last time. I'm so proud of you for everything you've accomplished and everything you've done. You've got big shoes to fill, and you have been a big promoter of the city of Milford, huge promoter, and we are so proud of you. And I know that your fellow ambassadors may want to say a few things, so please do. I'm going to give her a hug because I'm going to cry.
Uncle Dodge, and I'm just happy that she's one of my BFFs.
It's been great being ambassador with you, and I was just waiting for you guys to do a Facebook Live event like they do our ribbon cuttings, because they're so awesome and famous and wonderful. And thanks.
I'm Eric Plum, the chair of the aforementioned committee, the ambassador committee, and I got to say, Heather pretty much covered everything. You've promoted Clermont County, and Milford really is one of the gateways to Clermont County, coming from the metropolitan, the big Hamilton County. You expect to go, and you used to go into this, tiny little village, and now it's like this awesome place to go and celebrate whatever you've got going on, or just relax, and it's safe, and it's a great place to be, and a lot of that is just because of you, and we're very happy to still have you as an ambassador, and still working with Clermont County, and we appreciate everything that you do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Any other public comments?
Hi, my name is Marissa Velardo. I am one of Amy's children. I'm one of your bonus daughters, and I'm not going to look at her, so we won't do this. But I have traveled the world. I've been all over the place. And at 16 or 17, if you would have asked me, like, where do you want to grow up? I would have never said Milford. As a 17-year-old, I'm like, I want to get away from this small town. And then I went to college, and I remember I did a project on FC Cincinnati, the training facility coming to Milford. And my professor was telling me, like, wow, that's really awesome. That's such a big thing for, little tiny Milford, Ohio, in the middle of Clermont County, that if you're not from Cincinnati, you have no idea where we are. And he was telling me how cool that was, and I remember thinking, oh my gosh, like, I know someone that made that happen. And all of the other things that, we could probably list that all of you guys have heard, like 16 years of things that have been done in Milford. I know that Amy has something to do with that. And as a young person, that makes me want to live here now. I want to say, okay, like, where am I from? I'm from Milford. I'm not from Cincinnati. I'm not from Ohio. Like, I'm from Milford. So it makes me really proud to say that I'm from here and know someone that played such an important role in making this a place that me and I want to tell all my friends to come live here. So I'm really proud of you. And I'm really sorry that Max and Lulu couldn't be here, but I want to represent all of us and tell you how much we love you and how proud we are of you.
There's truly no better compliment than your kids telling you that you are a positive role model in their lives. So I've succeeded. I can quit. It's a mic drop moment for me, because that should be all we strive for, right? Is to be a good role model for the younger generation. So thank you for that, Marissa. Thank you. Okay, can I sit down now?
Any other public comments? So, Mike, I was wondering if you could join me at the podium with the mayor for a moment, please. City Council, members of the City of Milford. This evening, the City of Milford shall award the key to the city to Mayor Amy Velardo. Mike? This medieval tradition is meant to confer trust and honor. It grows from the medieval wall city whose gates were guarded during the day and locked at night. The key symbolizes the freedom of the recipient to enter and leave the city at will as a trusted friend of city residents. The actual key to the city would function to open the city gates. In modern times, an ornamental key is presented to the esteemed residents the city wishes to honor. The key to the city is also known as the freedom of the city. In this way, the ability to access everything is seen as the ultimate act of esteem and a way to honor an individual for their actions and contributions to the community. Today, the City of Milford honors Mayor Amy Velardo for her passion, dedication, and lifelong commitment to public service in her hometown community. Mayor Velardo, may this key always and forever allow you entry to Milford as one of her sacred guardians and champions for prosperity and quality of life. Amy Velardo, you are truly a proud daughter of Milford.
Oh, wow.
These are harder than hell to get. You cannot buy these, else I'd already have one. So, if no one deserves it better than you.
Oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed. I mean, I'm speechless. I appreciate the symbolism in this. I don't take it lightly, and it's just overwhelmed.
Let me just say, as I'm leaving Milford, one of the best honors I could have for all the time I've worked here is to be able to present that to you.
Okay, I'm going to sit down because I need to say something.
You absolutely, yes. I'll take care of it.
Oh my goodness gracious. I wish everybody in this room could sit here and see what I'm seeing, because it's overwhelming. It's truly overwhelming. Everybody in here means so much to me, every single one of you, in a different way, have influenced my life beyond words. But all good things must come to an end, and as such, so has my time on council. So how did I get here? In 2005, I was just 37 years old and really had no idea what I was doing. But Lou Bishop came to me and said, "Kid, we need you to run for council. I believe you can do the job, and this town needs you." I had had some experience working on countywide campaigns for other candidates, and so I thought to myself, maybe it's time to run my own race. And here we are, 4 election cycles and 16 years later. It's worth mentioning some of the greats that I've had the pleasure of working with. My first council was an amazingly talented group of people with a lot of experience. Lou Bishop, of course, Jim Mantell, Kim Macbeth, Shirlene Heiners, Shannon Reynolds, and Craig Kolb. I can remember sitting on this bench thinking to myself, what in the world am I doing here? I have no idea what I'm doing. So for about the first year, I just watched and observed. I had a lot to learn. Since then, I have worked with 4 city managers, Loretta Roque, Pam Holbrook, Jeff Wright, and Michael Doss, 4 finance directors, 3 police chiefs, and 2 fire chiefs. Deserving recognition, Pat Worthland, Chief Jamie Mills, and Chief Baird, and the one and only, Chief John Cooper. I can remember when I was contemplating running for council the first time, Lou told me that he needed me to run, and he told me to meet Loretta and John Cooper. I remember my first meeting with the chief. It was like yesterday. I met him at the firehouse in his office. I sat across from him, nervous as all get out. I didn't even know what I was going to ask him. But he was extremely kind and patient, and then he told me about the value of community that we live in. Community first. For those of you that know him, I don't need to say anything else. I got the message. But I've only worked with one law director. Some of you might know he's been here for 44 years. Mike has been an institution of knowledge, a stable handing guide when I needed one, a voice of reason, and a good listener. And I extremely appreciate everything you've always done for me. The names and faces of my council colleagues have changed as well. I have had the pleasure of working with some amazing individuals, and although we may not have always agreed along the way, I do believe in my hollow hearts that every member that I've worked with has had the same goal, the same common goal, and that is to do what is best for the city. This city has been transformed with the revitalization of downtown Milford and the growth of the Parkway. When talking about the city, I hear words like, Milford is a true destination, an entertainment district. I can remember discussions and long meetings over whether or not to let Walmart come into town, right? I can remember folks being worried about Riverwalk Flats and how that was going to change the character of the town. That has been the delicate balance that council has had to endure. How do you continue to grow and build a thriving town without changing the character? Well, folks, I think we've done that. Riverwalk Flats was the impetus for 20 Bricks, Padrino, Kirk Jeweler, Harvest Market, Little Miami Brewing Company, the Event Center, the Governor, the Distillery, FC Cincinnati, Cohatch. They go on and on, right? On the Parkway, we have about, 8 restaurants, a movie theater, Target, 2 hotels. All of these businesses have made a significant investment in our community, and as a result, we are now the city that everyone wants to be in. Michael and I have been in several meetings with developers, and they all say the same thing. Everyone wants to be in Milford. What do you have available? The FOMO is real. I want to thank Michael for his vision and his leadership, for without him and his staff, none of this would be made possible. Michael and his team share many successes, too many to mention here. But I think we can all agree that securing funding for a $4 million water tower that this city desperately needs is nothing short of amazing. I have so many wonderful memories and proud moments. I cherish the friendships that I've gained and the relationships with the businesses that are now part of my life. The completion of the Public Works Garage is definitely at the top of my list. That was something that I had been working on for some time, and thanks to Michael and my council colleagues, we were able to get that done. I'm excited to see the implementation of the park plan and future development of some remaining properties on the Parkway and downtown Milford. I have complete faith and trust in my council colleagues to continue to make this town the most desirable place to be in all of Clermont County. There are still some challenges ahead. The most recent election has shown us that citizens are apathetic when it comes to voting. Folks are choosing to voice their concerns and disdain on social media, most of the time sharing exaggerated and false information. People simply do not trust their elected officials anymore. creating a thankless job that no one else wants to do. I believe that getting the right information to the public, educating the public, and engaging the public will be the biggest challenge you face in the future. The way we used to do it just isn't going to be good enough anymore. But one thing I know for certain is that you are all up to the challenge. I leave the city in competent hands. I will be rooting for you from the sidelines. Although my term has ended, I have no plans to leave my hometown. I will continue to be the ambassador and promote the city whenever and wherever possible. I love this town. And it has been incredibly rewarding to serve my community for the past 16 years. It has been very humbling to serve as your mayor for the past 2 years and 4 months. Again, thank you for your love and support, and God bless all of you. All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Wait. I just want everybody to know that Amy's got up here 4 Post-it notes that say, "Do not, you know what, cry."
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
How did that work out for you?
Hey, better than I thought.
Mayor, we're going to have a reception for you upstairs immediately following the council meeting. Everyone in council chambers is certainly welcome to attend upstairs, second floor.
Thank you, all of you. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I wish you huge success. I will be rooting for all of you. I'll be here for your calls and a sounding board or whatever you need. I'm here. I'm your biggest champion.
Motion. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Mayor Velardo?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Mr. Haskins?
Yes.
All right, everybody. Merry Christmas. If you're watching on Facebook Live, thank you. Thank you for love and support. And remember, shop local. I'm out.